The last part of the superstructure of the human body that we're going to discuss is that of our skin. The skin is the largest organ of your body, and it is the primary line of defense that you have against all of those kingdom Monera germs and other organisms from entering your body. As we made note of in an earlier video, okay, if you cut yourself, that's a point where infection can come in, and so you need to take precautions, cover that cut up, maybe put some Neosporin, like an antibiotic cream on it, and then maybe a Band-Aid. The Band-Aid will act as a second skin and help keep infection from entering that way. So the skin is the primary line of defense. Your skin also keeps moisture inside. Without your skin, moisture would escape or evaporate. When you think about it, your body temperature is high enough for water to evaporate rather quickly. 98 degrees Fahrenheit. On a 98 degree day outside, water will evaporate very quickly. So your skin helps keep the moisture inside, traps the moisture and keeps your body from drying out. Skin also senses touch. You have sensory nervous endings in your skin, okay? And so you'll know when something as small as a housefly lands on your skin. You'll know it, okay? Or even a single strand of a spider web. As you're walking through a wooded trail, okay, you have a single strand of a spider web that comes across your arm, you can feel it, right? Well, that's the sense of touch there due to all those nervous endings of the skin. The skin is also responsible for growing all of the hair that you have and the nails that are in the end of your fingers, on the end of your toes. And then your skin will keep pathogens out. Okay, keeps you from getting sick. Your skin is also responsible for using sunlight to make vitamin D. Remember, vitamin D is one of those fat-soluble vitamins that is needed. Okay, but your body can actually produce this, but you do need sunlight there. Okay, you do need sunlight in order for your body to produce this. If you're stay indoors all the time, then you might be a little low on vitamin D, and so your body would need to take supplements to get the vitamin D into your body. Another thing about the skin is that it renews very quickly. You see, we are losing thousands upon thousands of skin cells every second, and so your body needs to replenish them very quickly. You need to be able to replenish the skin cells as quickly as you lose them, or you're going to be in a hazardous position, because then you're not going to have the skin to protect you. Well, there are two basic layers to skin. There is the epidermis, okay, which is going to be the outer layer. Okay, it's the outer layer of your skin. It's what you can see with your eyes. It also includes the layer, a little bit of thickness to that outer layer as well. The epidermis actually consists of two layers itself. There's the layer of dead cells on top. Those are the ones that we are losing, thousands and thousands that we are losing. But then you also have a layer of alive cells underneath. Okay, these are and so when your body replenishes those skin cells, it's adding it to the live cells underneath. Your epidermis is responsible for the keratinization process. This is where it turns the living cells into a more sturdy, hard, dead cell. And that's responsible for your hair and for your nails, your fingernails and your toenails. Now the next layer underneath the epidermis is called the dermis. The dermis has hair in it. Okay, this is where the follicle is. The hair is made of dead cells. So you may be thinking, well then why does hair grow if it's made of dead cells? Well, that's because your body keeps adding more and more dead cells to the hair follicle, and so it just keeps building up that way. The hair is growing because your body is adding to it, not because those cells are replicating. Your hair grows from the follicle. The follicle is fed by blood vessels, okay, and is able to grow. The matrix of the hair, okay, the actual hair itself and how those dead cells are packed together, it reproduces fast. Okay, as the cells rise, okay, they harden, keratinize, okay, into that cylindrical hair, causing the hair to grow. Now, if you ever had a goosebump before, goosebumps, okay, I'll get them if a sudden cold breeze were to come in, my arm would have goosebumps on it. Okay, and I also got them on the day that I got married when I first saw my wife walking down the aisle. But don't tell the lovely and gracious Mrs. Hughes that. I think she already knew. But anyway, goosebumps are caused by a contraction of a muscle called the erector pili. Now, in this particular diagram, that muscle is the one that's connected to the shaft of the hair. It's kind of a pink colored muscle over here. If that contracts, it's going to produce what we call the goosebumps there. All right. Now, hair has two functions. Okay, it has two functions for us. It insulates our body. Okay, helps us regulate heat, so forth, and allows less moisture to escape the skin. But it also allows for sensation. Okay, those hairs are connected to nerve endings. Okay, and those nerves can send messages to your brain to let you know what you are sensing. In addition to hair, the dermis also contains sebaceous glands. Okay, sebaceous glands. And in this picture, that would be the orange item here that's connected to the hair shaft. Sebaceous glands, okay, they coat the hair and the skin with oil. Okay. If you have dry hair, then your sebaceous glands do not emit as much oil, but if you have oily hair, then your sebaceous glands do emit a lot of oil there. They're connected to the hair follicle. Okay. If that hair follicle, the opening there, up there near the top of the hair, if it becomes plugged, okay, or infected, then it can produce what is called acne, or pimples, if you would. In addition to hair and sebaceous glands, the dermis of your skin contains sweat glands. Okay, now sweat glands, in this particular picture, that would be the white curly-Q item there. Sweat glands help govern the cooling process, and we'll talk more about this when we're in physical science next year. But in short, right now, your body produces sweat. When the water from the sweat evaporates, it actually pulls energy away from your skin, and that's the cooling sensation that you feel. The salt and the water that's produced with the sweat glands actually feed beneficial bacteria and the fungi that produce lactic acid, which kills the pathogens. And so these are Kingdom Monera items that are living on your skin. It's a symbiotic relationship. A symbiotic relationship is when you have a very close relationship between two or more species, and there are mutual benefits to both. So on your skin right now, you have bacteria that is living, and it's beneficial to you to have that there. Helps kill pathogens and whatnot. While the bacteria is living off of you, it's getting its nutrition off of you as well. So it's a symbiotic relationship, a beneficial relationship. Symbiosis is it exists throughout all of creation. But it really truly is amazing when you start looking at symbiosis. For example, the clownfish and the sea anemone. It was from the movie Finding Nemo. Okay, he has trouble pronouncing anemone. There's a mutual benefit here, a symbiotic relationship of these two creatures. Tube worms. Okay, there's a symbiotic relationship here as well, in that when the tube worm is old, then it actually shuts its mouth permanently, and it gathers in all of the nutrients that it needs through its skin, but it has a bacteria on the inside. That bacteria is taking all of those nutrients and turning it into food for the tube worm. So there's a symbiotic relationship between the two. And then we have the alder tree and Frankia, the bacteria, the nodule that's growing on that tree, on the alder tree. And here you can see in the picture those white nodules there. That's the other organism that's growing. It gives the symbiotic relationship, allows both of them to grow mutually and benefit off of each other. What's remarkable about any symbiotic relationship, any instance of symbiosis within the creation, is that now you need to start thinking about in terms of evolutionary theory and how the symbiotic relationship developed there. Because evolutionary theory says, every organism basically came into existence based upon the mutations. Given enough time and the right types of mutations, then that organism will evolve into what it is now. But then you have this relationship where they're so closely connected to another organism. So how did these two evolutionary processes evolve together and still we have the right mutations that occur? Well, it doubles the improbability. Okay, it doubles the improbability of evolution ever happening. And so symbiosis is a true testament to God the Creator. Well, in addition to hair, sebaceous glands, and sweat glands, okay, the dermis contains pigment called melanin. Okay, a pigment is a chemical that is responsible for color. If you look around your house, or maybe even your walls have paint on them. If you have a certain color there, that is due to a pigment that was added to the paint. Well, you have a pigment in your skin called melanin. Lighter skin has no melanin. Dark skin has a lot of melanin in it. So that's the only difference between skin color, is the amount of melanin that's there.